We live in a world where we're told not to care what other people think of us. Live by the mottos, you do you, be true to yourself. The only thing is, we deeply do care, don't we, what others think of us. It's why we're gutted when we're overlooked for an internship because we're not the right fit. Or when a group of mates go to the pub and we weren't invited. Or when a social media post doesn't get quite the response we were hoping that it would. We care what others think of us. But I wonder whether you've ever asked the question, what does God think of us? Maybe it's something you've never considered. Maybe you're sceptical whether God even exists. And even if he does, how could we know whether he cares for us or what he thinks about us? Surely we're just in the dark. But actually Christians believe that we're not in the dark, but that in God's words in the Bible, he reveals what he thinks of us. So what does he think? Well, first, he thinks that we're valuable. See, on the very first page of the Bible, you don't have to look very far. On the first page, we're told that all human beings are made in God's image. It's really foundational. Yes, God made the sun, the moon, and the stars and the animals, but when he made human beings, that was special. With dignity, he made them, with worth. They're crowned with honour and glory. And so that matters that no matter the background that we come from, gender, disability, whether we feel we've been a success or a failure in life, all of us have this intrinsic worth and value. And you might think, well, sure, that's a given. Everyone knows that. But actually throughout history, and even in modern contexts, that often hasn't been the case in the way that things have worked out. God, we're told on the page 1 of the Bible, thinks that we are valuable. But he also, too, thinks that we are wanderers, that we've wandered and gone astray. My wife learnt to drive, actually, on her mum's company car, a black Mercedes C-Class, quite a fancy and valuable car. And she didn't quite get her bearings one day in it and scraped all down the side of the car along a row of cars. Pretty nasty. This beautiful, valuable car was badly damaged. And the same is true with our relationship with God. It started off beautiful, but actually has been incredibly damaged. And we see that, don't we, with humans as we look around the world, with war and poverty and greed and neglect of the planet. But if we're more honest, we also see it in ourselves as well, don't we? That we have wandered from God, that we haven't shown him any time, or that we don't care for others in the way that we would want to be cared for ourselves. And this wandering away has damaged our relationship with the God who made us. My wife, with the car, then tried to repair it with a black board marker down the side of the car, and it worked for a couple of days until her mum found out what had happened. But much more seriously, our relationship with God can't be repaired by us, can't cover over what we have done towards God. We're alienated from him, but God had a plan for wanderers. And 3, we're loved. Jesus Christ then in the Gospels in the New Testament of the Bible told a story about a shepherd who had 100 sheep. And this shepherd, one of the 100 sheep had gone missing. So he left the 99 behind and went after this one lost sheep. You imagine that he fought off animals to get it, or went through brambles and hedges to find this one precious sheep. And when he found the sheep, he put it over his shoulders, rejoiced, and held a party at home as he found this one lost sheep. Sheep might feel pretty disconnected from life in South Kensington, and being compared to sheep, who are pretty stupid sometimes as animals, might seem offensive. But the Bible says actually that all of us, like sheep, have gone astray from God. Yet it also says that Jesus Christ is the good shepherd who laid down his life for the sheep. It's the most generous act that this world has ever seen, that Jesus would die on a cross to bring wanderers back to him, back to God. But it leaves us at a bit of a crossroads. Do we carry on wandering away, lost? Or do we follow Jesus, the good shepherd, who laid down his life out of love for us? I'm aware this might well have generated questions. Do come along Friday the 18th of June, just on Zoom, 12 o'clock till 12:30. See you there.